Yes, first of all, I would like to invite Dr. Wayupa, the acting director of the TGO, to give us the opening remarks. Yes, good morning. I would like to welcome all of you here to the seminar on the joint crediting mechanism in Thailand to promote the reduction of the greenhouse gas through the JCM project. And today we receive an honor from your participants. I would say about 200 of you. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the TGO, I would like to thank all of you for participating with us today in the morning about the JCM mechanism in order to reduce the greenhouse gas in Thailand. And on the 8th of July of this year, that just a couple of months behind, both of the countries had signed the MOU, the new version of the MOU. That is a big step for the Thai entrepreneurs. We receive this financial support or the low carbon technologies, both from the government sectors and also the private sectors in Japan, that can really mitigate the reduction of the greenhouse gas in order for the sustainable development. And this cooperation can help Thailand and Japan to achieve the target of the greenhouse gas emission in both countries. And starting from almost 10 years ago, the Japanese government had supported about the investment money for the Thai entrepreneurs to use the technologies through the JCM to reduce the greenhouse gas, and that we're sharing. And the sharing of the carbon credit will be divided between the two countries. These receive the support from the Environmental Ministry of the Japan. We have that time 48 projects altogether, and then we have two more, altogether 50 projects. The value of the support is more than 2,000 million baht, and that created the additional investment of more than 8,000 million baht. The 11 projects had been supported through the JCM, including of the 59,000 of carbon dioxide tons equivalent of the carbon dioxide reduction, and we have 5 projects together that had been certified as a credit. We have the carbon dioxide equivalent of 42 metric ton that already had divided to the Japan's of the more than 2,000 metric tons of the carbon dioxide equivalent. So the targets or the objectives of this project is to share the benefits, and also to receive under the JCM project. And this will be the sharing of the data, and in order to receive the financial support, the steps in terms of project development. And we really hope that this seminar can help us to promote and the understanding, and will be the incentive for the entrepreneurs, the private, including the government-owned enterprises, to join in together to initiate really this greenhouse gas reduction project. So at the end, the TGO or Thailand Greenhouse Gas Organizations would like to thank you, all of you, very much for this interest in your JCM. This can help both Thai and Japan to move forward in terms of the endeavor that can be what I would call the world-friendly mechanism. And I really hope that all of us here will receive the information in order to develop your JCM participation in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Nantarika, to give us an opening remarks. And next, may I invite Ms. Osawa Yuri.
เปิดงานสัมมนาในวันนี้ค่ะขอเรียนเชิญค่ะ Thank you very much, Dr. Natarika, for your opening remarks. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Japanese government, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to TGO and the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environment of the Kingdom of Thailand, especially DCCE, for your continuous support towards the government of Japan. I also would like to thank the officials and secretariat of both countries for making this JCM seminar possible. It is my honor to welcome everyone in this room to today's seminar. I am glad to see the room is packed. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since Thailand and Japan signed the bilateral document for the JCM in 2015, around 50 projects have been implemented. These projects have contributed to the reduction of greenhouse gas emission and sustainable development in Thailand. In addition, the new Memorandum of Cooperation on the JCM between the two countries was signed by Ambassador Otaka and His Excellency Mr. Patchawat Wongsuwan, then Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Natural Resources and Environment in July of this year. Furthermore, the JCM guideline has been updated, and now we are ready to accept the new JCM proposal under the Premium TBR program. On the December 11th, the NDC Action Plan of Thailand was finally adopted by the Cabinet. We are glad to see that the law of the project under the Article 6 are mentioned in the action plan. This will be a big encouragement for the JCM project developers. Today, in this seminar, we have prepared an insightful program that will cover 3 essential topics, which are vital for potential JCM project developers and investors to understand as foundational knowledge. Firstly, we will provide an update on Thailand's climate policy and its involvement with Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. Secondly, we will introduce the fundamental concept of the JCM and Premium TBR. Lastly, we will walk you through the components of JCM project, illustrating them with concrete examples to provide a clearer understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone present today, including our esteemed presenters. I sincerely hope that today's seminar will be both informative and inspiring, encouraging participants to explore and develop new JCM project that will contribute to the achievement of the NDC goals of both Thailand and Japan. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณมากค่ะ
ค่ะ ขอบคุณ Miss Osawa.
Thank you so much, Kun Osawa Yuri. And next is going to be photo session for the memories of us all. May invite all participants to stand up. We will, okay, if you stand up, the camera will be on the stage. And all the presenters, could you please stand up in front? And then the participants.
ค่ะ เข้าสู่เซสชันที่ 2 นะคะ จะเป็นการสัมมนา
So we'll get to the second sessions. It is the JCM sharing information. If you have questions, we have the Q&A sessions after the presentation.
เป็นการบรรยายในหัวข้อสถานภาพ
The first part is on recent developments of the JCM. It will be delivered by Mr. Tatsuya Sakaino, researcher of the Office of International Carbon Market for Global Environmental Bureau, the Ministry of the Environment, the Government of Japan. Kun Tatsuya, please.
So good morning, everyone, and Sawadee Krap. My name is Tatsuya Sakaino from Ministry of the Environment in Japan. I'm with the Joint Credit Mechanics team in Office of International Carbon Market Global Environmental Bureau. So today I'm very happy to see so many of you here today. And today I'd like to talk about the basic information and the recent progress on the JCM in Japan. Okay, first of all, I will explain the basic concept of the JCM. So the JCM, Joint Credit Mechanism, is a bilateral cooperation between Japan and our JCM partner countries. And the JCM will be aligned with the guidance on Article 6.2 cooperative approaches of the Paris Agreement. In partner countries, mainly in the Global South, Japanese companies and the Japanese government collaborate on implementing mitigation measures in terms of technology and financial support. The achieved GHG emission reductions or removals will be shared as JCM credits between the partner countries and Japan. It contributes to achieving reduction and absorption targets of both Japan and the partner countries, while invigorating the economies of both nations through corporate participation. Additionally, it contributes to solving various social, economic, environmental issues of partner countries. Since the first signing with Mongolia in 2013 and the signing with Thailand in 2015, Japan has established the JCM with 29 countries, and over 250 projects are currently being implemented. JCM target is cumulative GHG emission reduction for 100 million tons of CO2 equivalent by 2030. So next slide shows what benefits both governments or participants can get from the JCM. The JCM offers social, economic, environmental benefits to both Japan and partner countries. So for partner countries and entities in partner countries, JCM could be utilized for these 5 points. And the first one is right side, and exploring new business opportunities. The second one is enhancing corporate value. And this point attracts new investment. The third one is diffusion of superior decarbonization technology and products. Fourth one is contribute to NDC reduction and absorption targets of partner countries. And the last one is solving social, economic, environmental issues such as air pollution and infrastructure development. In addition, for Japanese government, we use acquired JCM credits to achieve our NDC. Furthermore, we can enhance presence through contributions to global decarbonization. So far, there have been 257 technology adoptions in 18 countries. 56% of these are related to renewable energy, followed by 34% for energy efficiency, making up the majority. In this slide, you can find some projects related to renewable energy, such as solar power, hydropower, biogas, and so on. And the next slide shows some projects related to energy efficiency, such as consumer sector and industrial sector. Not only renewable energy or energy efficiency, we have a variety of JCM project types, such as waste to energy, transportation, and RED+. Today, I think some concrete examples will be presented in session 3. So next is the list of JCM partner countries and projects supported by MOEJ. So far, we have more than 250 projects all over the world. Most of them comes from Southeast Asia, But recently, we started to expand JCM in other regions such as Central Asia, Africa. And hopefully, more projects will be implemented in these new JCM partner countries as well. So especially in Thailand, ever since signing the bilateral document of the JCM between two countries on November 19th in 2015, we have been implemented 51 projects and 58 technologies. And 48% of these are related to renewable energy, followed by 40% for energy efficiency, making up the majority. So Thailand is one of the most important countries in the JCM. So this is an overview of Japan's support for the JCM partner countries. So Japan provides a range of supports, such as financial support for projects, technical support, and capacity building. And about financial program for JCM projects, more detailed information will be provided by Jack today. So this slide shows potential use of JCM credits in Japan. In case of using financial support from government, JCM credit issued to Japan side will be acquired by the government of Japan. In private sector JCM, which is invested and implemented by private companies without any governmental supports, allow companies to acquire JCM credits according to their own contributions level. So JCM credits acquired by the companies can be utilized for the purpose of carbon offsetting. So in Japan, for example, the domestic calculation, reporting, and the publication system, and used for the achievement of companies' voluntary targets in the GX League, and the carbon offsetting. So in the GX League, participating companies are supposed to be engaged in emission trading in the carbon credits market and the Tokyo Stock Exchange in order to achieve their targets. So pricing and the monetization of the JCM credits will be expected through trading JCM credits in the carbon credits market. So this slide shows the basic scheme of the JCM. The project participants submit documents to joint committee. So joint committee is the decision-making body of the JCM comprised of both governments. And also project participants need to have validation and verification from third-party entities. So on the right side, the flow of JCM project process is shown. JCM has several processes to make sure the validity of projects and create secure credits. Firstly, the project participants who seek to request registration under the JCM need to prepare a project idea note as known as PIN. So PIN is used to explain the outline of the project to the partner country, and both joint committee decides there is no objection or not. The next step will be the submission of proposed methodology. After it is approved by the joint committee, project design document, PDD, needs to be developed. After it is validated by third-party entity, TPE, and publicly the project will be registered by the decision of the joint committee. So after the registration of the project participant starts operation of the project and conduct monitoring of its activity in line with the registered PDD. So finally, project participants will request the joint committee to issue JCM credits after verification. The credit allocation between Japan and the partner country will be decided at the time of registration. So in this slide, I explained about the basic scheme of JCM. So today I would like to emphasize that the participants need to follow rules of implementation, including forms for the JCM track and the premium TIBR to implement new projects in Thailand. So we needed to understand well about premium TIBR to conduct projects. Okay, so this is my last slide. So when you want to know more about the JCM, please take a look at the JCM website. Here you can find some information such as rules and guidelines, approved methodologies, and registered projects, issuance of credits, designated third-party entities of each country, and so on. Okay, so that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Clap.
ค่ะขอบคุณมิสเตอร์ทัศยะ
Thank you, Kun Tatsuya Sakaino, for your presentation on the first part. Next on the agenda, we are going to proceed to the next topic, which is the financing program for JCM model projects and JCM global match. Apologize. The second presentation is introduction of JCM and benefits from the development of JCM projects. It will be delivered by Dr. Puttipa Rodkitikun, Director Carbon Credit Certification Office from the TGO. Thank you. Good morning, distinguished guests, and we have heard already from the first presentation in terms of conceptual framework of the JCM mechanism, and I'm going to delve into further details regarding JCM benefits. And we have heard a couple of times already in terms of the MOC being signed between Thailand and Japan dated 19th of November 2015, and that was 2015, I apologize, and with the extension being made during 2026. And starting from day one of the signing of the MOC, there was no establishment of Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. However, the Article 6 was initiated in Glasgow back in November 2021, in which international transfer of credits, or ICMO, as a mechanism has been established, as well as adjustments of the carbon accounting and carbon credits alongside with the carbon credit management guideline and reporting based on the terms agreed upon by the UNFCCC, and with the carbon credit management guideline and mechanism being established dated March 2022, and hence our carbon credit certification office has been put in place alongside with the revision of the new MOC, and with the signing ceremony being in place dated 8th of June of this year. In terms of key concept of JCM, Japan, through the Japan government, has provided financial support and as well as technology transfer to implementing partners in Thailand. And for implementing partners in Thailand, they have to implement projects alongside with monitoring, verification, and reporting of carbon credits being made. And the gained carbon credits will be shared by the Japanese and Thai counterparts. For the Japanese side, they will utilize JCM credits towards the offsetting of the NDC goals or for other purposes as they see fit. In terms of implementation in Thailand, currently we have 48 JCM model projects in total, with estimated greenhouse gas reduction of up to 244 billion CO2 equivalent per year, and additional registered projects. However, the numbers are not aligned with the number previously presented by the Japanese counterpart. It was mentioned first off that there were 51 projects. However, 3 projects have been cancelled so far, and through MOE and MOEJ, they have supported F-gas recovery and open MAQ. So these are additional projects that have been further supported. Open VQ, this received the support from MOEJ, and F-gas was supported directly by MOE. So in total, we have 48 projects for JCM and registered project up to 11 projects estimated reduction of up to 58,000 million CO2 equivalent tons of CO2 equivalent per year, and with issues carbon credits 5 projects with certified up to 4 million tons of CO2 equivalent per year, and these credits are shared jointly by the Japanese and Thai counterparts. In terms of the JCM methodologies for Thailand, we have the approved methodologies of 17 methodologies in total for 2 methodologies for energy industries, 13 for energy demand and manufacturing industry 1, and energy distribution 1 methodology. Further information can be considered from the JCM's website, can be referred to from the JCM website. And this also marks the signing ceremony of the MOC, which is the most recent, dated the 8th of July 2024. The signing ceremony was conducted by our Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Natural Resources and the Environment of Thailand, and the Minister of MOE from Japan as well. In terms of the amendments of the new JCM, the cooperative approach under Article 6.2 has been put in place, and JCM is founded upon Article 6.2, in which joint crediting mechanism can be established and the credits can be shared across different countries. And in terms of carbon credits that are shared, the Japanese counterpart will contribute to the carbon offsetting mechanism towards the NDC, and to avoid double counting with the home country, will have to carry out the corresponding adjustment. And in this case, the partner country, which is Thailand, will have to adjust their carbon crediting mechanism as well. And also, we need to ensure that the SDE and safeguarding principles are put in place, along with authorization, ITMO, and also other issues which will be further discussed. In terms of implementation, it is divided into 4 phases, starting from the JCM plan project, and with the MOE from Japan, or the participating partner submitting the PIN to the joint committee, and the JC will approve the plan projects, and PDD will have to be further developed and submitted to the Japanese government alongside with the TGO, so that the projects will be properly registered in the Thai database. After that, the project owner will have to submit additional documents, and the Japanese government will consider and approve the issuance of the credits, and additional submittal of documents will have to be in place to ensure authorization of credit transfers. And with the CCE considering the fulfillment of authorization, and the letter of authorization will be issued by the DCCE, and TGO will approve and issue credits. And finally, in terms of the carbon credit accreditation, project participant will have to ensure that they verify, measure, and report carbon credits that are gained with submittal of documents to the TGO and the Japanese government for the final approval of the credits and to proceed with the international transfer. And also the Thai Minister of Climate Change, the Department of Climate Change will issue the fulfillment of letter to ensure the final endorsement of the international transfer process. TGO will issue the credits to special accounts and holding accounts. The holding account belongs to the Thai part, and the special account belongs to the Japanese part, and that will facilitate the transfer projects. So in the special account, the duplicate credits will be cancelled in the Thai part, and the Japan government will issue its credits in the holding account and adjust the credits in its own account and with letter of authorization of credits being transferred, and that recaps the project development process. And in terms of further planning of projects, Dr. Pavina will provide you with additional information. This is a sample project and functions also roles and responsibilities of different parties. On the left-hand side, for the Thai project participants, they will receive subsidies for the implementation or for project development, and the Thai project participant will do the project implementation alongside with monitor, measure, verify, and report the credits. For the Japanese project, there will be an international consortium being set up with subsidies being forwarded or disbursed to the Thai operating counterpart with reporting put in place for the Japanese government and for the request for the credit issuance. This is the perovskite solar cell system with battery storage system project with Magnica projects alongside with Sena Property, and the PIN or the project idea notes was approved in September this year. So the perovskite solar cell system with the storage systems were installed as part of this project. In terms of benefits to be gained for the Thai project participants, in addition to receiving the subsidy from the Japanese government, the carbon credits that the Thai participants are entitled to can be utilized for carbon offsetting or for the carbon credit and carbon footprints for organization, product, events, or individuals. And currently, there are significant demands from climate action leading organizations, which are part of the carbon neutral network of Thailand. And for listed companies, they will have to disclose the carbon credits and carbon offsetting credits in their one report alongside with the TGO guidelines. And the TWER and JCM mechanisms are entitled for offsetting of carbon footprint. So when carbon credits are shared with the Japanese counterpart, the remaining credits can be utilized within Thailand, and benefits from JCM projects will further contribute to the Thailand's achievements towards NDCs. And on December the 11th, the Cabinet has recently approved the National Greenhouse Gas Mitigation Action for 2021 to 2030, which will capture the reduction of greenhouse gas emission of up to 40% based on domestic support and international support. And JCM will also contribute to the achievement towards NCD goals domestically. And in terms of the Thailand's long-term greenhouse gas emission development strategy, and for JCM projects, we are getting technology transfer which are advanced carbon footprint capture technology. So we do hope that advanced technologies are being transferred to us, especially for CCS, CCOS projects and hydrogen projects, will contribute to greater long-term strategy improvement of Thailand towards greater greenhouse gas reduction and mitigation in Thailand. Another key benefit that can be gained from JCM projects is their contribution towards sustainable development goals in Thailand, and the perovskite projects, which was mentioned previously, will contribute to 4 domains of sustainable development achievements, such as affordable and clean energy uptake, when solar cells and PV panels are utilized for energy generation, and which contribute to goal number 7, and for SDG goal number 9, it will contribute to low carbon technology adoption. And also SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production, facilitating green electricity and power generation, and also SDG number 17 on partnership for the goal. So for project participants, they will have to come up with a list of benefits that are to be gained towards SDG achievements. And with that concludes my presentation regarding JCM concepts and also benefits that can be achieved from the JCM projects. And in terms of project development process, there will be further discussion and presentation on the subject matter.
ค่ะขอบคุณดร. พุทธิภา
Thank you very much, Dr. Buthipa, for your introduction to the JCM. And the next presentation is going to be the presentation about the steps for the project development and also the type of the activities that can be considered as the JCM. Dr. Pavina Panishayachet, the manager of the TGO. May I invite Dr. Pavina ka? Thank you ka. Thank you so much. For this particular topic, we will talk about the details of the project development because part of you who are in here, maybe you have not prepared the project before, or maybe some of you had already done this before. So after the MOU, the new MOU, there are the steps that we need to implement further, like the Director Pothipa had just mentioned. I will go step by step from the one that had previously presented. So the first step about the approval of the project, we have to say that the JCM, under the new MOU, we try to align the MOU to align with the Paris Agreement. So this one, we need to do the inventory that how much did we had transferred to Japan, how much did we had transferred, and we have to adapt our inventory as well. And this one, in order to be the JCM, the Thai government needs to screen and selectly in detail all the responsible unit and also the target of the TGO. We have to consider that the selected activities are these really the one that can help to reduce the greenhouse gas in Thailand. And for example, this one, the things that we consider under the JCM, what are these? The first one we call the PNIN, Project Idea Note. So there is a link for you to download. For this one, this is the heart and soul of the project. For those of you who are here and are interested, you just want to know how to initiate the JCM. This is the very first step, very important, is a PIN that you have to get the approval from the Thai government. In fact, there's both government need to approve, but the Japanese government provide a subsidy. The Japanese government will say that which project that they will select for the subsidies. And for Thailand, we have to consider about which one that we will select in order to reduce the greenhouse gas. So for the project developer on both sides, so for those of you who had received the support from the Japanese, like the Ministry of Environment in Japan, will submit this one to the secretary of the mechanism, and the mechanism secretary have to look and check all the documents, are they complete, and then submit it to those joint committee to have the joint approval. So this is the type of the form. You have to fill in the title of the names, last name, so who's the contact entity, what is the name of the project entities. And then the 2.4 is the one, what some of you may wonder, what does it mean? So it's like the project that you are about to develop, did you consult any kind of agencies? Suppose you are working with the energy. Did you ask this project in order to seek the support or to seek the opinions from the Ministry of Energy or not? If you already had, you can check, you can fill in, and then they will check again about the opinions of that particular agencies. So if you don't have any kind of consultations, and you can consult with a TGO as well. And then further on, it will be the details of the project, what kind of activities, the location of your plant, and what technologies that you want to implement to reduce the greenhouse gas. Suppose you have the activities like building, the construction. So the building, the contract, it has nothing with the machines. So you can use about the construction machines that you can implement in order to reduce the greenhouse gas. And in the case that when you do the feasibility study, you can say that this feasibility will be done in what, when, where, how. And then when you have to buy the license, then how you can implement that one. The next one is about the JCM, that the credit sharing between the Thai and Japan. So one thing I will talk further about how to share the credit is a fair share, that both sides need to share the credit equally. So supports, like in Japan, how many percentage of, and then how many percentage that Thai will share the credit. To quantify these sharing points, in terms of the money, may be the easiest way to share. So first of all, we need to have an investment. How much is the investment, and the subsidies will come. So if you can break down all these details, please fill in. And then when it comes to the calculation of the 3.3, application method of the JCM, do you have the methodology to calculate your greenhouse gas reduction? So just specify the existing methodology if you already have. And for this one, the new JCM, so it has to be done under the premium T world. The methodology right now, we need to further develop before you get the number. So you can skip this one, and then you can request the information from the TGO if you want to prepare this document. And then the next one, 3.4, expected greenhouse gas reduction. And then the expected schedule when you can implement this kind of system. So this is another one, eligible activities. This is a very important part in order to propose propose this one to the Thai government to get the approval. This is the one, the sharing. The first one is about the project that had to promote the reduction of the greenhouse gas emission. And the word they use the addition to those prescribed, that means in addition. So when you do the business as usual, you have to invest, right? And then in order to be eligible for the carbon credit and sharing the carbon credit, it has to be additional. Okay, suppose you have to add on more investment. You may have to add on the new technology that never used before, or you have to add on the skilled personnel. So additional investment. And in order to reduce the greenhouse gas, this is the most important thing for the first one. The next one is a kind of support the greenhouse gas. The target of the greenhouse gas, or the NDC, we have the agency that's responsible about this reduction. For this one, if you are not sure about this, please consult with the TGO. And the next one is the one that I just mentioned, is a fair allocation of carbon credits. That this one will be on the equitable and fair, just and fair sharing of the credits. And the next one is the crediting period. The time frame, the time of the crediting period. If you do this project, there's a time frame that you need to get the credits. Maybe the first one, the first day that you activate the machine or the system, and then it can be 5 years. Okay, write this one. And then that may end until the 2030, as we say. And then this project need to come to the transfer of advanced technology or innovation. Like this morning, Kun Hichawa had talked about the new technologies, like the capture of the heat in the kind of stones, and then can bring back to use it. And the next one, suppose you do the reforesting. Can you do it? Yes, if you have the monitoring technology that is modern, or any something that can use the machines or the equipments that can promote this reforestation. And the last one is the unit, the tons of the carbon dioxide. This is a JCM that we calculate in terms of tons, equivalent of the CO2. And this one, for the 3.6, this is the one that we came from the criteria that we just talked about. So if you have to fill out this form. Just check, tick, tick. Okay, number one, you can see the regulatory surplus. Some people are confused. What does it mean? So suppose your activities, suppose you are the plant. Okay, you produce the electricity. Okay, that is not clear example. Okay, let's see. Okay, sorry. Let's get to and then I'll get the plastic. Okay, for the plastic, suppose today the Thai government did not specify that we have to get the gas for the biogas and in order to generate the electricity. So if you do this kind of operation, so this is beyond the things that the law had specified. So if you follow the standard, that means there's no additional. You don't go beyond the regulations that the government had specified. But if suppose if the law did not stipulate it, suppose that electric equipment, you cannot use this amount of electric beyond this one. Okay, if the law does not regulations about that one, it's okay. The next one is a BAU. Like I said, that your activity has to be beyond the business as usual. For example, everyone buy the number 5 of the new air conditioning with the 5 stars. If you buy that particular machines, it's not. You have to get something more better than the 5 stars products. Okay, the other one is the development and transfer of advanced technology, innovations. And the next one is to get access to the financial resources. Yeah, financial resources is important. Huh? Some technology may be new, and the bank is not quite certain or confident in terms of lending the money. So the barriers about the investment. So something for the entrepreneurs, you have to go through many endeavors in order to get the subsidies on the financial access. So if this project had never been done before, and you have to train the personnel to control the machines, you can specify this one into detail. And next one is others. Okay, that your activities also support besides the reduction of the greenhouse gas. There are the other benefits that you support, and the other one is the credit allocation. So on both sides, the Japan side and Thailand side, you have to make the agreement with all these reduction. What would be the fair share of the credit on both government? How much on each side? And then what the reasons why? Because the proportion. This is a kind of life and death issues that they have to talk and make the mutual understanding agreement to begin with. Suppose we have the intention, like this afternoon, that we have the matching, the JCM. If you want to use this JCM as a financing program, you can check this one. Usually this one is the main one, and then we have other sources of money like UNIDO, or can be the Demon project of the. Or maybe the other sources of funds, like we have the private JCM that come in to the picture. That is the cooperation from the Japanese private entities. This diagram is the one that we need to understand and explain, that this is the joint cooperation between Thai, who is from Thai and who is from Japan. This is a sample of the project that has been presented before. Okay, in Japan, these companies and then partner participants are Thai. Okay, this one we had already explained, Dr. Putipa. This one, maybe you cannot imagine what does it mean. Avoidance of double registration. When you do the greenhouse gas reduction, you have to do the registration, right? In order to have the owners, like for the premium TV, okay, you are the owner and you are the manager. So we would like to certify that this one that you are about to register had not been registered to the other project before. So you said that when you talk in order to certify the carbon credit, there are the UN, CCC standard, and also the independent that you heard about, LOS or VCS or this independent accreditation. You cannot register. So if you are on a TV registration, you cannot register with the JCM. But for the new one, it can. So you have to declare that there's no double registration with the other entities. and the last one is the signing. Sometimes the PIN, there are so many times to revise because you have to update and to have to update the informations to be realistic. And this PIN will be certified or approved by the JC. So this is the picture of the JC. The JC, or the Joint Committee on Thai side and Japanese side. For the Thai, we have the Thai, we call the co-chair. That is the ministry, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Resources and Thai Environment. And then we have Department of CCE, okay, under the Ministry of Natural Resources. And then we have pollution control, we have Office of Natural Resources, or ONEP, and then we have the DIW, Department of Industrial Works, that those are the Thai side. We have the East Asian Affairs Ministry from the Foreign Affairs. We have Alternative Energy Development, DEDE, and then we have the Thai TGO as the secretariat of the JC. So these are the This is the committee on Thai side that will do the screening. And then the other side is the Japanese. We have the Embassy of Japan, that we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have the METI of the Ministry of Environment, Forestry Agency, and also another Embassy of Japan. This is the components of the Thai of the Japanese committee as a joint, as a co-chair. And then you have to be submitted. You have to be approved by the PC before you can move on. Now, once you submit it, when you're talking about the in the middle one, you have to request what's called the PDD, or project design document. You have to do about the project registration request form. We have to do the validation report. Okay, I will show you the documents that you have some ideas what else you have to do. So this is about for the request for registration. And the other one that you have to do about the credit sharing with the Japanese. Now, this one you have to request for authorization. We call the authorization in order to allow you to share the credits. And the manager of the project has to submit to the DCCE of Thailand, because the Department of CCE is a national focal point on the climate change. This is the agency that compile all the things that in Thai had reached the NAP or not, or the target or not. So for all this one, will be the one who will talk about every tons that we transfer to Japan. So this is like the accountant who controlled the inventory. So about the thing, you have to send the request for authorizations to the DCCE. And then the next one, the second one is validated PDD. So this is one that had been verified, that has been, okay, the department will take a look at this and then consider whether they will issue the letter for you or not. When you do the plan project, this is one of the safety step for you. For the Thai government agency has seen that your activities, what it's about, whether it's according to the plan, they approve the plan. This is like the preliminary safety that your project is likely to go through. So once the project had done the validation, they will issue you the letter of validation. Before they issue this letter, it has to be submitted and go through the cabinet that this project can be the credit sharing. But this one, the steps may be shortened because we right now we are quite clear in terms of the steps and procedure. So we try to streamline and we try to shorten the time frame. So the time frame for the approval, I hope it's going to be shorter. So the next one is if you have all the documents prepared, well prepared and all complete, the validation report about the percentage of credit allocation, and also the report. This report is called the Sustainable Development and Safeguard Assessment Report. So I will tell you, okay, with the cover of the request form, you set up to the Secretariat, and the Secretariat will submit this one for the Japanese government to consider and then to approve about the registration. And then we come back to once the Thai government, when they receive, for the Thai government, with the letter of authorization and the TOG, the greenhouse gas, the Secretariat will submit it to the Thai committee. They're called the premium tier. So after that, we know, okay, this is quite a lot already. So if you want to do the carbon credit, you need to open the account in order to receive the credit. So it's like you open the bank account. So you have to send in the request, and you have to certificate of registration as a juristic person who is the one we use this account, because it has to be registered in order to receive the transactions. And now I will go about the documents. Just if you can, okay, the first document, this is about the request. Okay, 1 page only about your project. The project name, who is the focal point entity, and then in order to request for registration, the next one is a PDD, and this is what we call the very important. They have the guidelines for the PDD. How can you prepare the PDD? How you complete the PDD form? And what are the parts of the PDD? The main thing about the PDD is activities. What are your activities? What are your methodologies in order to calculate the reduction of the greenhouse gas? And what are the monitoring you want to do? Suppose you produce the electricity by the renewable energy, and you have the energy storage, and then how can you measure? How can you do this? How do you calibrate your machines? And the third party will do the validations that all the things that you have specified, that is it real, is it true, is it transparent, and then they will recheck. So this is like the proposal for your plan that you are about to do. And this one may not exactly the same, okay, because this one is under the JCM of the old MOU, but the new one may slightly change. But this can be the good example for the new one. So you can go to the website underneath to see the documents. Like for this one, okay, this is a 5 megawatt floating solar. And they put in the names of the project, and then what are the projects about to do in this one. And then the next one is a validation report and form. This one, the third party will issue you after you have checked your PDD, that your PDD is okay, then they will issue this particular document for us. So it's the conclusion of the validation about the positive or negative. Okay, you have to check only the positive, only. And then if the Secretariat see that it's a positive opinion, then they can register your project for you. The next one is called the percentage of credit allocation. You need to specify that your project, who develop, how can you share the credit together. And then in some project that you don't, suppose you don't, maybe on the Japanese side, they said the whole credit will go to the Japanese government. And then we said that, okay, the account number, the government of Japan. And for the Thai government don't take the credit. It's going to be the project developer only. So you can donate your credit to the TGO. These are the voluntary cancellations that you don't use it and you can donate to someone. So you have to specify how would you share this one, what we call the share of fair allocation of credits. So the next one is the safeguard. They call the JCM, safeguard. This is for the new one. The old one, we did not prepare for this one about the sustainable development and also the safeguard. This is the one that under the Paris Agreement has emphasized the section number 6 of the Paris Agreement about the SDG. So in order for the JCM, we had developed the new evaluation. We have this new guideline that for the project need to fill out. It's not that difficult. There are three main parts of this SDG. The first one is about the general if you are talking, if you are familiar EIA or EIE, so they are in the same similar manners. So before you do the project, you need all the overall. The second one is the analysis. How can you make your project align with the SDG? And the third one is about the validation report, that you will not create or generate any negative effects. So this one, according to the Thai law, that suppose we have noise pollution or air pollution or water pollution, okay, with all this one. So that means if we have the already existing law that specify all these things, just specify and what are the things that you can measure all these negative effects. And the next one, the third page is going to be about what projects you are about. Okay, this one is the second step. So this is the step 2 of the project registration. Suppose when you do the registration, the secretariat would like you to open the account, and this open account will be in the registration of the TGO. Suppose this one is a name. Okay, this is a personal name with an account name, and if you have the project that had already been registered, your project name will appear on your account, and then it will say how much total credit that you already have. Suppose you have 3 projects, there will be 3 lines of the project, and each line will have the credit. When you click the transfer, that means you transfer the credit to the others. Suppose we have like some project that you already have the total credit you want to sell. Suppose you have 4,000, you want to sell it for 2,000, and once you receive, and then you will request the registrar to transfer the money to do. When we do the credit, we sell or buy the credit, you will do it by block. So this is the one. This is the picture that the project that had been certified. So there is one particular menu. This one I would like you to take a look at. They call the ITMOs, ITMOs transfer records. So in case of the JCM that we are talking about here, the credit on the Japanese side will be under this ITMO transfer records that you can take a look after some. Okay, that is the third step. Now for the next one is the step 3 about the credits issuance. So, and then you say that once you register, what is going to happen next? So, besides, like I told you about the credits will be in your register account. So the credits, okay, it's come is a block. So there's one word they call the serial number on this one. So each unit of your credit, we have the serial number that is a very unique. Suppose they have 205, 15528, and the next will be 2927. Okay, running numbers. The serial number is the one that we do in buy and sell or the transfer of the credits. So it's very unique for each block of the credits amount. So before you get the credits issuance, once you receive the authorization to use this credit for sharing, this letter will be issued before you certify. So the TGO would like to make sure that before we do this kind of credit issuance, all the activities that you had done align with the things. We can do the recheck again, that did you really do what that you promised to do. And then after the department, we have the positive examination after the verification. And then the TGO, we would like to receive the positive examination before we issue the credits. Like for the serial number, okay, you see the -0 at the end of the number. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you say the -1 and -0, -1. So regulatory rule is going to be -00, -1 means the credit that is transferable. So suppose these credits have been transferred to Switzerland already. So it's going to be showed up in ITMO transfer records. It's like for us, we had transfer, it's already transferred, it will be the -1 -0. So this one has been authorized to chair to the Switzerland in that one. But in our case, we will transfer this one to Japan. So this one, we need to receive what we call the positive examination from the department before we can do the transfer. This is another one. Okay, at the first time, you need to have what called the credit issuance request form. You need to get the credit issuance. And next one is verified monitoring report. You probably cannot see what does it mean by monitoring report. Once you register the document they call the PDD, is a text. It's about your activities, how do you calculate how much money can you make it. This particular PDD will be attached to the required documents for the credits, because the methodology of calculation you can put in the activity data. For example, you generate the electricity. Activity data is the amount of unit of electricity that you had generated. And then the Excel file will calculate the value for you. When you register, you can download this file. And then suppose you said that your system, according to your specification, you can generate this amount of electricity. And the file will calculate the amount of the greenhouse reaction, and the third party will check according to that numbers. And then you can use this number again to put into your activity data. For this case, if you look at it, it say that, okay, they did the solar PV system, and this year they produced 8,000.75 megawatt hours. And that one, the system will calculate the value in terms of ton carbon dioxide, and this one, and then you can use this one in your report. So this one is easy. Yeah, it is really easy because you can use this one. You can fill in the amount of things that you expect to do, and once you can use the actual that you had done, and then the file will calculate this one. The third party will calculate, will look at the 8,000 is 3 or not. Did you make up the 8,000? They will look up into the primary data. Suppose you said that you generate the PV electricity. Do you have the PV module? Do you have the PV system? And then you get the result. Suppose you get a 1 meg. Suppose you have only a couple, and then you say you produce the meg. No, the third party will check on that one. So it seems like the entrepreneurs did not have to do much, because you just worry about what you are doing and what you had done before. Say on this form, okay, the number that you put in, there will be a third party to recheck or examine your numbers. The third party will do the on-site visit to see that you have the equipment, you have all this reduction of the greenhouse gas, and the third party will give you the report, only the positive opinion that will be accepted in order to get the credits. So the third party has to be positive, the department has to be positive, okay, I mean the TGO. And then the next one, the last one, is the SD safeguard. Like I said before, when you registered, you need to specify that, so your project had support the SDG, what numbers of the SDG, and then how can we measure that you support. Suppose you said that you will allow the feasible of the clean energy from the clean energy to get access. So we will check the electricity that you had generated, and then when it comes to the monitoring report, you have to fill in these numbers as well. And then about the negative impacts. For example, when you did the assessment report, so you said your project, you have the air pollution, so we will check the emission from the air pollution. Do you have any rules of laws, any laws or any act that control about the emissions, like the soft NOx, about the tons, about the value that you had measured, how much, and what did you have done. And then you had done according to the standard that the law stipulated. So we have about the plan that you would do, and then the thing that you had done before, because our secretary will check every steps that you had done. So this is the last part of the registration. This may not be about the project developer, because the project developer ends at when you request for the credit issuance. So once you get the credit issuance, so it's going to be the arrangement. Suppose once you submitted for the credit issuance, and then both parties, both Thai and Japan approve, and then the TGO, the secretariat will register, will record all the things in your account. So you said that how much will be the Japanese side and how much will be on the Thai side in terms of sharing the credits. For the Thai entrepreneurs, we will put in the numbers, but for the Japan, we will record into the special account. We call the JCM special accounts, and this one the TGO will realize immediately that we will cancel the amount that has been shared to the Japan, and this, so that will be the end of the credit transfer between sharing between the two countries. And then at the end of the year, there will be the numbers that how much that has been transferred, how much from what projects, what are the activities that this one that the secretariat has done. So for the entrepreneurs or for the participants, your duties ended at the issuance, the credit issuance. So this one maybe sometimes very. This is not serious about it. So like I told you before, that the first line, that the TGO will issue the credits in the special accounts, the Thai, and for this one, we register in the Thai registry. Suppose the sharing is 50-50, with 100 credits, 50-50 are sharing. So the 50 will be Thai the registry, the 50 will be in the special account. And for the second one, we will cancel the credit from the special accounts to the cancellation account. Okay, for this one. And after this one, the TGO will notify the Japan and the Japanese will issue the 50 of the Japanese on the Japanese side, and the cancellation account, the credit can get in but cannot get out, because this one will be automatic, absolutely cancellation, cannot be transferred anymore. So this number cannot be duplicated, and then on Thai 50, and then the 50 will go to the Japan. That should be about the end. So I have the times for the Q&A. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Pavina. And next is going to be the Q&A session. So you can raise your hands. Our staff will bring you the microphone.
Any questions, please? Please raise your hand if you have any questions. So there is a question in the middle, please.
I am Bachka from South Pole, and in the project note, idea note or pin, there had been mentioning that we can choose whether there are existing methodologies or new methodologies. So I have two questions on this. Pin. Yes, the methodology part. There you go, yes. So 3.3 applicable JCM methodology. So I have two questions on this. If there is no methodology, and we are very keen to develop a new methodology, so the first question is, what is the process for approving the new methodology? And the second question is, once the methodology is developed, do we need to resubmit the PIN?
ค่ะคือเรื่องของ methodology ค่ะ
Regarding the methodologies, you can develop your own methodologies as a new one. And it will be based on the premium TIVR framework, which is operated by the TGO. So you can submit your new methodology to TIVR, to TGO, and TGO will consult with the Japanese counterpart in terms of approving the methodology. However, in PIN, you may not have an exact methodology, so you may need to have an educated guess. So the most likely methodology or principles that can be applied, or you can use a proxy methodology. For example, other JCM countries, you can sort of borrow their methodology underpinning the same principles, or UN Article 6, 6.2, 6.4, they have something similar, because the process of approving the methodology will take about 3 months or so. And once the PIN is approved, you need to identify the approved methodology in the PDD only. Therefore, there could be a delay before the PIN is approved and then the PDD is further approved. So if the methodology is not yet approved, it will not allow you to proceed to the PDD process. Otherwise, the PDD document will not be further validated or approved.
May I make a question? I'm Nakui from JCO. On the procedure on what was that for credit registry, you said project participant to submit request to TGO. When you say PPs, which one of a participant is it? Thai participant or Japanese participant or whichever?
ค่ะปกติจะ
Normally, it will be the representative participants, meaning that it's from the Japan company. So there must be under premium TIVR, it will be a project idea note. The first page will have to indicate the project developer or the project owner, identifying corresponding project owners. So in this part, you can indicate the name of the entity. So the names of the entity under 2.1, and that person will submit any documents at all, and normally it will be the Japanese company. So the accepting or the receiving Japanese company will be usually noted as part of this. So the Japanese participants will be the representative to submit requests, whatever request that is to be submitted.
Okay, thank you. I understand. And on the earlier speech by Dr. Putipal, she said participant submit a document for issuance of credit. This is also done by Japan or so the submit is to one is to government of Japan. I think that shall be done by the Japanese participant, and also participants submit to TGO. When the participants submit document to TGO, which one of the participant?
เดี๋ยวพูดภาษาไม่ใช่ก็
submission of documents, the Japanese, which is representative of the project owner or the project developer, will submit it to the Japanese secretariat, and the Japanese secretariat will submit it to the host country secretariat. In this part, it is the TGO, and we will together consider the document submitted to us. And then further steps will be followed. For example, the PIN will be considered mutually by the joint committee or to make electronic decisions. And if both parties have agreed, it is considered as approved. But in terms of registration and issuance, it will be done by a step-by-step approach. And normally, the Japanese part will approve first, and it will followed by the Thai part. Because under preemptive, the Thai government part is basically seen as a secretariat. Therefore, decision-making will be done mainly by the Japanese counterpart. And then once the Japanese government has agreed on or made that decision, then the Thai part will agree on. Therefore, in the flow, you will see that the government of Japan will approve first and then followed by TGO. So the submittal of documents will be submitted to SEC, but submittal of the proposal will be submitted to the CCE first.
สวัสดีครับชาติจากสันสยามมอนะครับมีคำถามว่ากรณีที่เอกชนนะครับมีความ
I have a question. If Thai and Japanese businesses are working based on the JCM principle to transfer the credits through blockchain and to tokenize and to allow for credit trading. Do we have to go through the JCM protocol, or do we have to get further approval by the Japanese counterparts, the Japanese government too? So the same concept applies. For tokenization, I'm not sure, but first and foremost, the credits will be shared by the Thai government and the Japanese government. However, there is a digital asset law in place regarding or governing tokenization, but I'm not entirely sure. But our registers are split. So for the credits in the Japanese accounts will be governed by Japanese law, and for Thai credits, they will be governed by the Thai law. So in terms of credit allocation, if the businesses are doing the project and they are the project owner, so we do not have to share the credits to the government, no. But like I said, the Japanese side of the credits will be in the Japanese side account, and the Japanese credits will be governed by Japanese law. I have a question. For JCM projects, the Thai side will partner up with the Japanese side, and mainly technology transfer will be made possible by our Japanese colleagues. But if Thai part, we have our technologies and we partner up with a Japanese business and they are supporting very minimal technological transfer, is it likely that the project will be eligible, or do we have to rely mainly from the Japanese transfer? So what I'm saying that if maybe the funding agency will be at a better position to respond to this. So the question is, if the Thai technology is more advanced compared to the Japanese technology, are projects like this eligible for the subsidy from the Japanese government?
Thank you for your question. As an implementing organization of the financing program, I will answer to your question. As long as you would like to utilize the financing program, the applicant must be a Japanese entity, so that even though the technology may be relying on the Thai side, the application must be submitted by the Japanese representative participant, and you have to form an international consortium to apply for the JCM financing program. So the Thai side and the Japanese business entity must conform. It must consist an international consortium to apply for the subsidy. Am I answering to your question?
ถ้าอย่างนี้ขอสรุปว่าจริงๆไม่ได้
So it doesn't mean that there is any nationality applied on the technologies, right? But in terms of the organizational entity, it must be led by the Japanese business. And is the project located in Thailand? In principle, the reduction activities will have to be conducted in Thailand, and it has to be implemented by a consortium, an international consortium. But the funding criteria, the donor is the Japanese government, but we don't have to rely on Japanese technology. So since the world has changed, maybe the Thai business may be able to contribute more. But of course, the Japanese company will have to contribute as well. We understand in principle. So just to confirm that they are open to the Thai technology as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. As long as the technology is contributing to the decarbonization of Thailand, I think it is possible, but be sure to have a Japanese entity to have as a representative participant to apply for the financing program.
Any further questions, please? Please raise your hand once again so that we can identify where you are. For the project development process, the third step in terms of credit issuance. So any credits will be issued after the project is commissioned. The credit issuance is done after the project is commissioned. Otherwise, there will no longer be any operating results from the project. And before we commission the project, where does it end in terms of project development? For project registration, which is step 2, you can start the soft commissioning of the project. So once you are developing your documentation, so previously there was a question asked, if there is no methodology, so you have to develop your own methodology, and usually it will take some time, months or years. So after your project is implemented, you need to be sure that your project idea note is approved and the registration process, and the registration process may take long time. So you need to create your methodology and to be audited by a third party. So the project registration may take long time. So then the commissioning may overlap with the registration process. But once the actual commissioning is carried out, then we will be able to start issuing credits. Otherwise, you will not see any operating results from that project. So methodology will have to be established first during project registration, and once the methodology is confirmed, you can start your commissioning of the project, and then credits will be issued afterward.
So my questions might be the similar one, the previous one. So in this slide, where is the project execution will be in place? So in my understanding, it is between yellow and orange, between JCM project registration and JCM credit insurance. Is my understanding correct? My question is, where is the project execution will be in place in this slide?
You mean the project starting date?
Project starting date and end of the development.
Okay.
So in this slide.
Yeah. In this slide, ในสไลด์เนี่ยค่ะ
So let me go over this again. So once you are about to start a project, you need to have a plan project first. So submit the plan project for our approval first. And meaning that both the Thai and the Japanese government have endorse the projects to be in the pipeline to be up for the project registration, and then you will have to submit documents for the registration. But if there is any delay, for example, you are using a new methodology, it will take some time for the new methodology to be developed and to be accredited. And once the methodology is developed and approved, it will be part of the project design document, and the third party will have to endorse that. So that can take a year or so. And that is why the project may start to run, but it is only to be awaiting official registration. So the project execution date, when is that exactly? It's in the interim during the registration.
Okay, during the registration.
after ได้หมด
Sorry, they are still discussing about themselves.
This March, but we haven't started credit issuance yet. So my question is, do we voluntarily have to initiate the credit issuance process, or should we wait any instructions or from some government entity?
I think they are still discussing among themselves. Okay, first question first. The project starting date starts when a PIN is developed. When PIN is developed, the project has not started yet. So PIN is to provide your commitment, express your commitment, but project execution during the registration process, if the project has already run, so you can start running the project, but not any credits will not be issued. So the project can run during the registration, but no credits will be issued during the registration if the methodology is not approved.
Approved methodology, right?
So I think just to recap, what they are saying is that when you submit the PIN, the project must not run yet. And once the project is registered, you need to develop and endorse the methodology. So credit issuance will start to take place when you have sizable amounts of credits to be issued. And if you have a sizable amount of credits to be issued, then you can start your transfer. And normally for credit verification, the unit is per P, so period of time is usually a year. So reporting will have to be done for at least a year in the verified monitoring report. And normally an annual report will have to be submitted to the SEC, and the Excel sheet, which is the verified monitoring report, will have to record the credits that are accumulated and to ensure that the project is still ongoing.
ค่ะขอเชิญท่านถัดไปค่ะ
ค่ะ
The TGO said the project duration must not exceed NDC timeframe, which is ending in 2030. Does it include private JCMs as well? Now it will end within 2030. So then the project duration will have to coincide with the NDC, right? Yes. Because this is already agreed at the governmental level. But if there is any change by the cabinet, then we will make certain adjustments. We are not saying that it is going to end in that year for sure, but this is based on the current circumstances. And you have said that the credits in the Thai registry, project developers are entitled to those projects, right? So it doesn't mean that the Thai government will not make any use of the credits. Is that correct? The Thai registry will count credits that are carried out in Thailand, and the Thai project owner can make use of those credits. Any further questions, please? If there is no further questions, we will proceed to the refreshments break. And if you have registered for the afternoon session for business matching, please refer to the schedule at the registration counter. We will break. And welcome back to our third session. We will further talk about the financing program for JCM model projects and JCM global match. The first topic is on financing program for JCM model projects. And to do matching with the JCM global counterparts. This will be presented by Kun Hiroko, Kun Masami, please.
I am Masami Ishihara of the Global Environment Center Foundation, GEC. GEC is an implementing organization of the financing program of the JCM model project. I feel very much privileged to have this opportunity to be here and explain about the JCM financing scheme and global match. This is the agenda which I'm going to cover in this presentation today. JCM started in 2013. Since then, JCM projects have been selected every year, and total number of the project reached 245 in 2023. As of today, the number reached over 250 by adding newly selected projects in 2024. 29 countries signed bilateral cooperation agreement for this partnership between Japanese government, and the number of partner countries is expected to increase further. Thailand signed the MOU of the JCM with Japan on November 19, October 16th in 2015. These are the basic concept of the JCM. The purpose of this scheme is to facilitate the diffusion of leading decarbonizing technologies and infrastructures, and also contribute to the sustainable development goals in the partner countries. The project must appropriately evaluate contributions from Japan to GHG emission reductions and removals in a quantitative manner, and use them to achieve Japan as well as the partner countries' NDC emission reduction targets. The project must contribute to the ultimate objective of the UNFCCC by facilitating global actions for GHG emission reductions and removals. This figure shows the scheme of the JCM model projects, which is the most popular JCM financing program. The selected projects can receive financial support from the government of Japan, which is the Ministry of Environment Japan. for the facilities or equipment you're going to install with the advanced decarbonizing technology. The point of this scheme is to utilize the subsidy to reduce the initial cost of the excellent equipment that has higher reduction abilities, but the cost is higher. So that you can, by using the scheme, you can introduce eco-friendly system with lower cost advantage. This is the timeline of the model project for this fiscal year 2024. We usually start opening the call for proposals in April. We have just closed this year's proposals acceptance receival at the end of November. We evaluate each received proposal based on the criteria, selection criteria, reflecting partner countries' opinions. Selected projects will go through the administrative process of finalizing contract of finance, and then they can officially start as a JCM model project. After finishing the installation of the facilities or equipment, they can receive the disbursement of the support from the government, depending on the contribution of the GHG. This shows the development steps of the JCM model project. When developing a project, a partner participant needs to find a Japanese partner who will become a representative participant of an international consortium, which I will touch upon in my latter slide. GC evaluates each proposal and select candidate projects with MOEJ. For the candidate project, we send PIN, the project idea note, which describes information about the project and shared with the respective partner countries to confirm the project deserves to be a JCM model project. Selected project will go through the following process on this slide. Then, what kind of projects are supported by the JCM financing program? Some key points are as follows. Project must include reduction of energy-related CO2 emission, which is released by burning the fossil fuels. Project contribute to realization of sustainable development goals in the partner country and comply with the relevant laws and regulations and international practices. Reduction of GHG emission must be measured and quantitatively calculated and verified for issuing JCM credit. These criteria are described in the guidelines for submitting proposals. So please refer to the document in detail, which is uploaded on our website. JCM model project needs to reduce emission of greenhouse gas and must include reduction of energy-related CO2 emissions. So this chart shows, for instance, a project must reduce only the project that reduces only GHG emissions such as methane or sulfur hexafluoride, perfluoride, hydrofluoride carbons, or nitrous oxide is not adequate to be a JCM model project. This figure shows that methane is burned and disappears. However, at this point, it is not enough to be a JCM model project. A boiler makes steam by the heat generated by burning the methane. Then the steam will be used to rotate the turbine to generate electricity. And if the electricity generated here replaces a part of grid power, then it could reduce the consumption of electricity from the fossil fuel. So this process makes a project, the JCM model project. we also have a criteria of cost effectiveness. It is financial support amount versus amount of GHG emission reduction. This value is set to less than 4,000 yen, about $25 US. This may act as a ceiling of the financial support sometimes, as a financial support amount sometimes. Certain technologies in some countries have a lot of proposals already. So we set the ceiling according to the number of previously selected projects per applied technology per country. The budget is limited, so we need to dispatch the subsidy effectively to as many excellent projects as possible. We also analyze the contribution to the SDGs. This shows the case of renewable energy sector from the planning to the commissioning. At each stage, we are expecting some kind of contribution to the SDGs in that country. So we do this kind of analysis in other technological sectors as well. This is a typical figure of an international consortium. So as I answered in my previous answer to the question from the audience, you have to form an international consortium to apply for the JCM financing program. And the representative participant must be a Japanese entity, and at least one company, a local company in a partner country. In case of Thailand, Thai company, you have to have at least one Thai company to form an international consortium. You can add as many participants as possible and complete the project together. And this table shows the category by the applied technology type and financial support amount percentage. So Thailand shows this red areas, and so in terms of the number of technologies, not the number of projects, 58 were already selected. I think in terms of number of projects selected, I think it's 50. But according to the previously selected or applied technologies, the maximum percentage of the financial support is decided. So the white areas, we still have none previous projects received. So you will be able to receive up to 50% of the financial support. The yellow shows up to 40%. The orange color shows up to 30%. And in case of Thailand, you don't have brown color, but it shows 20%. And if the number of applied technology selected reach 10, we will no longer select that technology. So in case of Thailand, solar power is out of the scope already. But you can still apply for the solar plus battery because we consider it is a different technology. This is the MRV. MRV means measurement, reporting, and verification. This takes place after the installation of the facilities and equipment and actual operation started. So I do not touch upon this today in detail, but you have to go through these steps after you completed the installation. So now let me introduce some of the project trend. This shows the newly selected projects in 2024. 2 projects were selected in Thailand. You may think 6 is very, not many, but it is because we are still doing the selection, and we hope to add more by the end of this fiscal year. This graph shows the tendency of the technology by sector. The orange line shows renewable energy sector, and the blue line shows the energy saving sector. So some time ago, energy saving was exceeding renewable, but after the COVID, renewable sector is exceeded the energy saving. So in terms of the percentage showing on the pie chart, energy saving shows 35%, and renewable energy shows 58%, followed by energy efficient use of energy and waste energy and transportation. So now let me introduce a project newly selected in Thailand. This is a biomass cogeneration system to chemical factory. I think my next presenter is going to introduce about this project in detail, so I'm not going to touch upon more in detail at this moment. And this is another one selected this year in Thailand. This is productivity improvement of aluminum ingots using highly efficient furnace system. So this project is a highly efficient furnace system to be installed in a new aluminum ingots factory in Rayong province. The furnace to be installed is a closed type with distribution combustion regeneration burner, which enhance thermal efficiency by reusing the waste heat. So in addition, the permanent magnet steering enhances the melting process. So that entire process of production will contribute the reduction of power during the production, which reduces the GHG. This is not a project in Thailand, but newly selected in Chile. This is a combination of solar power plus battery. So 12 megawatt solar power and 41 megawatt hour battery system in Pancagua City in Chile. And in this project, the solar power generated during the daytime will be stored in the battery and sent to the grid during the nighttime when the power demand is higher, so that the dependency on the fossil fuel grid power will be less. This is a mini hydropower project in the Philippines, 14.5 megawatt mini hydropower plant in Sigil River in Mindanao. In this project, they do not construct a big, huge dam to stop completely the river flow, so that the impact on the ecology or the surrounding area is minimal. The used water is returned to the river, and after the power generation, and the water quality is monitored not to include toxic matters to avoid negative impact on the nature, So this project contributes to the reduction of GHG as well as addressing to the sustainable development in the partner country to meet the growing demand of the power. So this is a project selected in Vietnam in 2021, this project addresses a waste disposal problem in a community. By installing an incinerating plant, the municipal solid waste as well as industrial waste are incinerated and avoid landfill. This project enabled to diffuse the proper waste of treatment in the country and avoid methane emission from the landfill. The incinerated heat is used to generate the power which replaces fossil fuel-based grid power. So I think there are still more chances in Thailand that you haven't installed in your country yet. Okay, talking about the matching system, WeGC is offering so-called JCM Global Match. This is a matchmaking tool for you to utilize, and this is completely free of charge, so why not join them? What you can do with this JCM Global Match is you can find a potential business partner who has been already registered on this scheme. And you can also advertise your company to appeal yourself to some other companies so that they may reach you if they are trying to find some partner in Thailand. And also, you can make use of this tool to discuss with the chatting tool. So this is a very useful tool to utilize and very easy to access. You can just type in JCM Global Match or just scan this URL code and register yourself. Then you can get a list of potential business partners by screening the industry or the category. GC is also accepting the consultation all the year round. So if you have any questions about the JCM or financing program, if my project is entitled to apply for the JCM, any questions or any inquiry can be accepted. So, but before you come to us, please make sure to prepare this consultation form, which can be downloaded from our GC website, so that we can prepare in advance what kind of questions to answer, what your intentions are, so that we can be more appropriate, ready for the consultation. So my conclusion is, as I explained and shared some of the slides, JCM model projects can be applied to a variety of industries, and many projects has been already selected, and I repeat, 50 projects have been selected and already implemented in Thailand. So, but still, you have a lot of opportunities to make use of this system. So I hope that you can develop a new project and apply for the JCM and contribute to the NDCs of Thailand as well as Japan. Thank you very much for attention. Thank you. ขอบคุณมากค่ะ
ค่ะขอบคุณมิสมาซามิอิชิฮาระ
Thank you คุณ
ทุนสนับสนุนแล้วก็การเป็นโครง
Thank you, Kun Masami, for additional contact to be eligible for JCM projects. And next, we will proceed with the JCM financing program and case example from Mr. Hiroki Ito, the manager of project development section from MOEJ Energy Solutions Thailand, please.
ขอเรียนเชิญค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ I'm energy solutions in Thailand. And I'm in charge of business and product development of NSET. And before, first of all, I'd like to express sincere gratitude to TGO and GEC and Thai and Japanese government. And I'm really honored to be here to share our challenge and a new trial in Thai market. So let me start our presentation. So as my previous presenter introduced our project roughly, that our project is introduction of biomass power plant in chemical factories in Rayong area in Thailand. And on the top of right-hand side is a rough chart of our project, and we are going to utilize wood chip from Thailand mainly, and we are going to use it and put that wood chip into the furnace and burn it and get thermal heat and convert that heat to steam and power and supply that to chemical factories. And we are going to reduce carbon emissions around 48 to 50,000 tons per CO2 yearly, following to JCM calculation criteria. So this is rough information of our project. So, but before going to focus on our project, let us introduce our company a little bit. So NSET is a JV company of Nippon Steel Engineering and Osaka Gas, so which is 70% and 30%. And our main business is conducting industrial solution, such as digital transformation and carbon neutral, green transformation, factory development, and energy saving in Thailand. So maybe JCM process is also included to our solution. So since the process of JCM is a little bit complicated and takes a long time, so if you have some concerns about it, so we are the option to support your company to get JCM subsidy to work together as well. Then our mother companies, so one of Nippon Steel Engineering is a leading company of waste-to-energy power plant and steel plant and gas cogeneration engineering in Japan. And Osaka Gas is also leading company of energy supply business, natural gas, power, etc., and develop of renewable energy power plants such as biomass in Japan. So we utilize those companies' technical knowledge and conduct carbon neutral business in Thailand and to contribute to carbon neutralization in Thailand. So roughly, this is our project, mainly gas cogeneration power plant in Thailand. Our customer is mainly Japanese client, which is Honda, Yokohama, etc. And we have our gas cogeneration power plant around mainly near Rayong province, since there are many factories and also other areas. And NSET is a company to develop power plant and operate our power plant itself, but we also have EPC companies as our group companies, which is called as TNS. TNS was established in 1987, and which mainly conducted for offshore platform business for PTT or other companies in Thailand. And actually, that was the #1 wellhead platform company, and that company also utilized their knowledge to conduct onshore EPC business to support NSET as well. So currently, NSET and TNS work together, and we have a one-stop energy solution service in Thailand. And this is the information of NSE's technical knowledge, part of technical knowledge. So I focused on power plant mainly, since today's presentation is for biomass power plant. So we have offshore wind farm experience and geothermal factory experience and waste-to-energy power plant, more than 50 in Japan, and also biomass power plant generation, which is more than 75 megawatt. Then for this project, which we are doing this year, is we utilize right-hand side knowledge for this project from Japan to Thailand. And Osaka Gas also has a variety of knowledge, especially natural gas power plant and coal power plant and also biomass power plant, which is more than 75 megawatt. Then Osaka Gas also has intention to come to Thailand or other Southeast Asian countries, so we work together to mix both of our knowledge and to make our energy solution business in Thailand more better than better. So let me start introduction of our business, which is selected JCM subsidy this year. So this is a rough picture of our business. So there are 3 factories, as you can see the picture, and one of the factories we are going to lease their area and develop our power plant. Then we are going to invest our power plant and supply electricity to 3 companies and steam to 1 company. Then this means client can outsource everything to operate power plant and also carbon reduction or investment, etc., to NSET. And NSET is going to be their partner to conduct power plant business in spite of them. And they can enjoy 100% of carbon reduction benefit on this project. Then for main part of power plant, of course, we have to conduct EPC work in our scope of work. So this part, TNS, as I mentioned before, will do. And for funding, we are going to lend money from financial company, but JCM support us to do this. So technically, client can enjoy the benefit of JCM indirectly utilizing NSET. So this is one of our scheme. And for fuel, NSET is going to procure fuel from fuel suppliers, which is wood chips for mainly, and for emergency case, we are going to utilize PKS or sugarcane briquette or etc. So this is our business scheme. So regarding the biomass project, maybe everyone is curious about what is the wood chip. So this is a wood chip. So we source wood chip from Rayong area mainly, and if there is a shortage of the wood chip in Rayong area, we are going to procure wood chips mainly southern part of Thailand, where there are much amount of rubber trees. Then this is a project structure deeply. So, and today I'd like to explain about the flow of subsidy focusing on. So this is the end user of client, and we are going to conclude a contract for energy supply and also land lease contract. Then NSET is going to invest our money to conduct EPC business, EPC of biomass power plant with TNS. Then since for JCM, we need to have main applicant in Japan. So for that part, Nippon Steel Engineering, our mother company, will do in Japan. Then they apply to application for JCM subsidy to GEC, and we get the JCM from Ministry of Environment in Japan. And that subsidy is coming through to GEC to NSE, and that money is transferring to NSET. So then NSET is utilizing that subsidy for facilities, which is for JCM. So this is a business scheme. But of course, there are also some part which is not for subsidy as well. So that money, that part, NSET shall get financed by ourselves and invest it by ourselves. Then for operation side, we are going to utilize fuel suppliers, ash treatment, and other vendors for conducting the stable operation of our power plant. So this is a project structure. So then I'd like to share our important point for the development and implementation of this project. Then development is based on our experience, and implementation is like planning basis. So for development phase, there was two there was many difficulties and variety. They are variety, but I would like to share the 2 points. So first of all, the schedule arrangement was really difficult for conducting this project, since we have to arrange our schedule based on 2 government schedule. Let me share. So first of all, JCM schedule has a limit of the project period, usually 3 years. And also the necessary licenses for power plant, especially biomass in Thailand, are various and takes long time. Then owner shall arrange the schedule considering the license schedule in Thailand and JCM schedule in Japan, including COP or IE report and after public hearing as well. So that was one point we considered and took time to arrange this project. And also, fuel sourcing is really important as well. So partnership development, especially for fuel procurement, was necessary. Especially our project years is around 20 years. So we sought Thai company partner, and also for partnership, not only negotiation, but also intimate communication was quite important. So it was take time to discuss with each companies, not like vendor, but like as partner. Then for the implementation phase, so both points are equally important point for both projects. So for schedule, we should comply with the schedule which we have planned for the development phase. So currently we are doing public hearing activity also, but we should have intimate communication with the community and the government to follow this schedule and make to realize our schedule. And also the second is after operation, also actually communication is quite important to source our wood chips, not only partners, but also other suppliers from wood chip factories. Then we are going to conduct proactive fuel sourcing. So this is not just only for searching the wood chip factory, but also we are engineering company, so we are going to conduct some tests that we can expand the varieties of our fuel to utilize to be utilized as a fuel, such as rice husk or sugarcane leaves can be converted to briquette, and we are going to study how to utilize that, or maybe other biomass fuels. Then we can contribute to local economies, or that actually can enhance our knowledge to conduct biomass business in the future. And we believe that knowledge can contribute to Thailand as well. And the second part is also, this is explanation that what we are going to operate stably for our biomass power plant in Thailand. So for stable operation is necessary, and as I shared, we have the knowledge of variety of operating waste-to-energy power plant in Japan. Then we have the platform with machine learning and AI in Japan, and we are going to utilize that platform to Thailand to achieve more stable operation. So we have 2 main systems for here. So operation analysis system and knowledge-based system. The operation analysis system is the actual system that we keep watching the operation situation with number of not only just number, but temperature, vibration, etc. So there are many facilities to gauge those varieties, and our system is going to analyze those numbers and have the correlation and analyze that whether that have an abnormal vibration or not, or something, and then we can find out that, oh, this can be there can be like trouble in the future or not, then before the big trouble, we can conduct our maintenance activity in this system. Then also there is knowledge-based system. So the problems or issues, what happened in the site can be like similar to like every power plant. And so we can expect what happened, or we can know what is like excellent procedure to mitigate that issue or problem. So then for that, of course, we have to share those knowledge overall the power plant and including every operators. So, and actually it's quite difficult to share those knowledge because people will resign and like older people will stop working for the company, etc. And there is that problem in Japan as well. So we have the database system, and we are keep developing this system that like every operators or related people can search on the system and know what was like that procedure or what is operational excellence, and we will share those excellence to our site and keep developing our operation. And we will utilize this operation from waste to energy power plant to this new biomass power plant as well. So this is a final explanation of our project. So points of our biomass energy facilities. So there are 3 points. Firstly, high stability. So what I mentioned, we are going to utilize WT and biomass engineering knowledge, and that will make our plant has high stable. And also with Thailand. So working with Thai facility makers and fuel procurement companies, etc. And we will do business, not only our part, but also we will cooperate together with Thai companies and share our knowledge and do our business together in Thailand. And also finally, future improvement. And as I also read Thai government's future plan for renewable energy, so there is some challenging plan such as carbon capture, etc. And we have the technology of carbon capture as well. So we will also keep checking and improving our power plant. And in the future, we may add those carbon capture as well to contribute Thai carbon neutral plan or other development plan as well. So the final part is just for reference, but we have a carbon capture system like this, and this is actually operated commercially. So we not just operate our power plant which is selected, but we keep improving and keep contributing to Thailand. So this is the end of presentation. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And we will now open the floor for additional Q&A session. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Thank you. And also, if you have pending questions from the first part of the discussion, please feel free to ask your questions as well. Please.
Nakui from JCO, and I'd like to know what is the advantage of being selected as a model project. And the second question is that what part of Thailand will you get biomass resources such as rubber tree, wood chip, or sugarcane leaves?
Sorry, could you say the first question again?
What is the advantage to be selected as a model JCM project? Model project になると何かいいことがありますか?
Model project, すみません、それはあれですかね、ここで補助金を取れる以外にっていうこと。
そうですね、例えばそういうことです。はい、別にモデルプロジェクトでなくても補助金はあるわけですよね。モデルプロジェクトだと何かもっとなんかいいことはあるんでしょうか。
特にないです。
そうです、はい、こういうところで紹介されるとかいうことです。はい、それからバイオマス、
多分これたまたまだと思います。僕よく内部は知らないんですけど、たまたまお声掛けいただいたっていうことなんじゃないかな。
そうです。
すみません。
はい、いえ、はい、ありがとうございます。それとバイオマスの調達はどういうところから、場所的に。はい。
So, okay, so the question was where we are going to procure our biomass fuel. So thank you for your question. And for wood chip, we are going to procure around Rayong province mainly to contribute to communities. So we talk to like our partners and also wood chip factories directly. Then and our investigation and plan, the amount of the rubber wood chip near Rayong province is sufficient, but of course we have to have like multiple emergency plans. So first of all, we are going to procure wood chips from the southern part of Thailand, like Sla province or etc., where there are many plantations of rubber wood chips, rubber trees. And so that is the wood chips. And also, we are going to procure other sources, such as sugarcane leaf, etc. And those sources coming from north part of Thailand. And so, as a conclusion, we are going to procure wood chips mainly from Rayong province. And if there is an emergency situation, we also consider to procure any biomasses from every part of Thailand.
ありがとうございます。Thank you very much.
มีท่านใดอยากสอบถามเพิ่มเติมไหมคะ
Additional questions, please. If no further question, let me proceed to the next part of the program. Thank you. And we are at the closing session. I would like to invite Mr. Yuji Mizuno, Principal Managing Director of Tokyo Office Global Environment Center Foundation, to deliver his closing remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Yuji Mizuno, the Principal Management Director of the Global Environmental Center Foundation Japan, and the heading JCM operation in the GEC. And GEC has been funding almost, not all, but almost all JCM projects in Thailand so far, and served as the secretariat for today's seminar, together with the Thailand Greenhouse Gas Management Organization. First of all, I would like to appreciate all the participants for your kind participation, and also especially the Dr. Natalika Bayupav, the Acting Executive Director of TGO, and the Ms. Osa Yurie-san, First Secretary, Embassy of Japan in Thailand, as well as the Sakaino-san, Dr. Putipa-san, Dr. Pavina-san, Ishihara-san, and Ito-san. And congratulate the success of today's seminar, particularly the very interactive Q&A. We, including myself, have learned a lot about the JCM procedures in Thailand, and recognized this is not so easy, at least to me. Some people ask me that how we can start at JCM? That's a very good question. I cannot answer immediately, I'm afraid. Yes, the JCM procedures are rather complex, but it's not because of Japan or Thailand. From my point of view, mainly due to the international agreements, which is Paris Agreement, Article 6. So Article 6 of the Paris Agreement specifies several requirements to ensure transparency and environmental integrity. And all the countries, including Thailand and Japan, must implement this kind of crediting mechanism consistent with the Article 6 rules. But I can definitely say that we are very lucky to be here in Thailand, because Thailand is the top country, the most advanced country in the world for implementation of Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. I am fully confident that implementing this kind of crediting mechanism in Thailand is the most efficient in the world, because today I now recognize both Thai government and also Thai companies are really knowledgeable on this mechanism. Let me introduce our GC a little bit. Because Thailand is the leading country in this field, we would like to follow Thailand. So the Japanese Diet, the Japanese Parliament, passed the kind of amended law. They amended climate change law this year, which mandates the government of Japan to designate JCM implementation entity in Japan, which will partly or wholly substitute the role of the government of Japan with regard to the implementation of the JCM from next April. I personally call this newly designated entity is the Japanese TGO, and the GC, our institution, plans to apply to be designated. So the GC plans to become Japanese TGO from next April, and I do hope both Thai TGO and so-called Japanese TGO can collaborate, and our cooperation will be enhanced. So from the next April, please contact GEC whatever you have questions or interest on the JCM implementation. Lastly, I would like to express again my gratitude to everyone, including both GEC and TGO staff who have been diligently preparing today's seminar. And today's seminar is the first in-person JCM seminar since the COVID-19 pandemic, and I do hope to continue this kind of very interactive occasion to enhance cooperation through the JCM between Thailand and Japan. With that, I would like to conclude my closing remarks, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Yuji Yusuno-san, for your closing remarks. And now we are officially closing the seminar, and lunch is provided on the 10th floor. You can access the restaurant through the staircase. And please make sure that you collect your belongings with you. We will set up the room for business matching in the afternoon. For those of you who have registered for the business matching in the afternoon, please meet at the seminar room at 1300. And please return the headset at the reception counter. Thank you.
แล้วก็รบกวนทุกท่านนะคะทำแบบประเมินค่ะอยู่
We would also appreciate your filling out the satisfaction form to provide us with your valuable feedback. The QR code for scanning is available at the side of the room. Once again, thank you everyone for your interest and participation. We apologize for any inconvenience that we may have caused. Thank you.